I was also thinking we need to spell Methow because if you're not from here,
Oh,
you may
yeah.
not know how it's actually spelled.
Yeah. Methow.
Ugh.
I only say that because that's how I've heard other people say it. But if you look at it, you're like, oh, that's like the Methow Valley. But then,
Right.
yeah, it's
But
not
if
how
you're a
people say
true
it.
local,
Yeah. The
it's
Methow.
Methow.
Hmm.
So where is this French lake?
It's just north of Winthrop if you're looking at a map.
You know I
Perigin.
am.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Perigin? I'm going off of memory, but it's Pearrygin, something like that.
Oh my gosh, you are right bang on the money. That is
Oh my
exactly
God.
how it's spelled.
All right. It
Oh
sounds
my
like a cocktail.
goodness.
You're like, I'll have a
Yeah.
Perigin. Thanks. That sounds good. You have tuned in to Remote Trails Radio, where your hosts, Garrick and Melody, take you off the beaten path into the world of overlanding, life in the Pacific Northwest, and whatever the heck else we feel like chatting about. So grab a drink, settle in, and let's hit the trails together.
Hey everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm Melody.
And I'm Garrick.
And this is Remote Trails Radio. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Garrick's new install of some Goose Gear. We're going to be talking about Titan straps. We're going to be talking about X Overland's build series. We'll talk about used tires. Ooh, that sounds good. And how to sell them. Maybe they're collecting dust in your garage, Beth. We're going to be talking about cross-country skiing, gravel biking in February, and Honda's new prototype trailer.
Yeah.
What's going on there? And then monitoring the temperatures in your car when you have your dog inside your car for a period of time, depending on distance.
Keep those pups safe.
Welcome to another rainy day in the Pacific Northwest. Doesn't ever cease to amaze me. It's February, should be snowing. But here we are. How are you dealing with it, Garrick?
I'm dealing in different ways. So I've been doing a lot of skiing, but also this weekend, because we've had so much tropical weather coming our way, I guess, I ended up gravel biking in 60-degree weather in Snoqualmie in North Bend. So that was the thing. Yeah. End of January.
Yeah, I'm a forager, so sometimes on the weekends I go out and do that, but it hasn't been a very good season, so I haven't been going out last couple weekends. It's kind of disappointing. It's my one thing to do when it's like raining out. You can go into the forest and be covered for a little bit, drive down some dirt roads. It's been weird. I heard that trees are waking up now. So they're waking up
the
with
fall, spring, right?
Flowers.
That's why I have to use my Flonase like year round, because it's just like
same. Yeah. I'm part of the Flonase Club too.
For Flonase for life. That should have been one of our random recommendations on one of these.
Although I think that's very well known. Yeah, I used to get a Costco deal where it was like $2.74.
You'd be surprised it's not as well known, though, as you think. Sorry, I jumped in.
That's okay. It's not very well known?
So people have heard of it, but they don't necessarily know how to use it. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, I tried that, it didn't work. And it's like, okay, how'd you use it? It's like, I tried it when I was having an episode and it didn't work. And I was like, oh, that's because you're using it wrong. You have to use it like twice a day. And then like after a week, it'll start working. And this is not just you have it when you need it sort of thing. This is like an entire lifestyle change for you. But yes, it's worth it though, because if you suffer from allergies like I do, and apparently like you do as well, the freedoms that have been given to me, like I can eat fruit now, which is awesome, because I used to not even be able to eat most fruits because I got allergic reaction in my mouth from it and stuff. So the only thing that Flonase hasn't stopped for me allergy wise is my eyes still get itchy during the springtime, and that's I don't have a solution for that other than just dropping antihistamine into my eyes. So
do you wear contacts? Does that help or no?
Thank God I don't wear contacts anymore. I used to, and it was awful. But
well, that's right. You got LASIK.
Yeah.
Did that help or no?
I just wouldn't wear contacts when it was spring because it just aggravated everything so much more.
Oh, wow.
I just couldn't do it. Yeah, I just was wearing a lot of glasses in springtime back in those days.
Fair enough. We have updates from previous episodes.
Yeah.
Garrick, looks like you've been installing.
I have. It's episode 31. I had mentioned that I had ordered some Goose Gear cargo plate and a fridge slide. This is because I had roasted the bottom of my cargo area and had a nice big brown melted spot in the back there. So
Literally
yeah,
roasted.
yeah. So it was rather unsightly and not something I wanted to look at. And I was looking for an excuse to get this cargo plate in for a long time anyway. So I finally made it happen through my laziness, essentially. So yeah, listen to 31 if you want the full story of what went down with that. But I ordered it back in, that would have been, I think, December. And Goose Gear said they had a 7 to 8 week lead time. And I got it like right in the 7.5 week point. So they were like spot on with their lead times, which was cool.
Nice.
And as soon as you order it, they like give you like a tracking number. And the packaging was like awesome. The fridge slide, when you open it up, it's in a box within a box. The other thing that I noticed just right away was that it's very well built. It has a cutting board that goes underneath it. And the
Okay.
cutting board was in this white box, but then they had actually taken the work to cut out the Goose Gear logo on top of that white box with the cutting board behind it. So you had this like wood coming through, stencil cutout of the Goose logo on this white box.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like Apple level of cool.
You should have done an unboxing and put it on
Yeah.
Instagram. That would have been cool to
Well,
see
I
it.
did take photos of it, so I will
There we
post those
go.
on Instagram.
Okay, great.
So, but yeah, so I was impressed by the packaging. It is heavy, so that's part of it being well built and durable. So you have to accept that as part of it. But it took me like less than 30 minutes to install the cargo plate.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll give some reservations about that though. With more popular vehicles like the 5th gen 4Runner and Tacoma and some other rigs that are very common in the overlanding space, they have videos of how to do the install for those. They don't have the video for the 3rd gen 4Runner. Yeah, there was no instructions at all, actually. I think for me, I am a resourceful person, so I was able to figure out what to do. But if somebody is not quite as experienced with that, that'd be a stressful situation to be in, because you have to do things like you have to cut the carpet where the folding down seats, you have to cut it behind those seats, because in the 3rd gen, they're actually fully connected to the cargo carpet area. But beyond that, there's 4 bolts. So it is pretty simple. And I can see why they feel like they didn't think they needed it. But, it all depends
That's
on.
a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, then how did you figure it out?
So I watched the 5th gen just to get a kind of idea. That's how I knew it was probably just gonna be like 4 bolts. And I was like, okay, they used the factory locations of the cargo tie downs on the 5th gen. So I was like, okay, it's probably gonna be the same for the 3rd gen. But actually, I had remembered that I had watched X Overland. They have a series where they call it like Zero to Hero. And they took a 3rd gen 4Runner and built it up from completely stock to just like a completely awesome Overlander.
Like kitted out, modded Overlander.
Yeah, and they did it in phases too, which I thought was kind of neat. So they did like okay, let's just build this and make it OEM plus, and then they kind of went through and like, here's like our minimal sort of things we do, and then nicer tires but like same size, and then they did the whole like, okay, let's put armor all around and lift and the bigger tires, and they fully done in interior of Goose Gear and whatnot. I was able to see on that they did the cutting in that video, so I knew to expect that, and that was helpful. And also, that's completely free. It's not on YouTube anymore. I think it used to be on YouTube, but now it's on X Overland's site. It wasn't super easy to find. I think I had to like go into their build section of their page to kind of find it, but it is there. I think the easiest way to find it is if you go to Google and type X Overland Zero to Hero. That's the easiest way to find those particular videos. And they're great. Like, even if you don't even have a 3rd gen, it's just kind of fun to watch them.
Would it be possible to find the link in our episode notes here?
Yes. Actually, I have it in our notes, so I will be sure to transfer those over to the show notes when we post this. Yeah.
Those of you listening out there, just check it out. In our episode notes are at the bottom.
There you go.
Scroll down, you'll find it.
But yeah, to give an idea of just how fast it was. So I received it on a Thursday night, 5 p.m. And I was heading out to the Methow Valley the next morning. I started installing it like right after it arrived. I think I was had it all done by 6 p.m. And that's like in the dark in my driveway sort of deal. Yeah.
It's very Zach of you. You just were like, oh, let's just do this right before a trip.
Yeah. That's like I said earlier. It's like, where do you find the time to get this done? It's I just do it when I get it.
Yeah, no kidding. You were not kidding. You just dropped everything you were doing and did it. Good for you.
Yeah. There was only one issue I had with the install, and that was the hardware they sent me. It fit the openings of the cargo tie down spots, but they sent me 4 and they're all the same length, but like 2 of them were long enough because it was a little bit shorter towards the front of the cargo area, but the back cargo area was actually like deeper, and it was deeper than the actual fasteners. So I had to buy some fasteners when I was in Winthrop that were longer in length to get it to fit on there. I also just had one random one at home that was long enough, but I only had 1, not 2, and I needed 2. But I was like, 3 is good enough for me to get me down to Winthrop.
Oh, God.
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Okay, so it was like an 80% install in an hour.
Yeah. It would have been 100% if I'd received the proper hardware. So that's my one knock against them. 2 knocks. 2 knocks are lack of instructions and the incorrect hardware or insufficient hardware, I guess, would be my.
That's fair.
But I still get a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a pretty great experience.
Are you happy with the performance of it? Have you been able to use it?
I haven't used it much. When I went out to Winthrop, I actually used my cooler in there because I knew I'd just be parking it out outside of our Airbnb
in the snow.
Yeah, it'd be frozen anyways. I was like, I don't need to run a fridge. It'll just stay frozen out there. But it's great so far. Like, it's very smooth as far as the fridge slide. I honestly, the fridge slide to me feels like a huge luxury, and it's definitely not a need to have in any way. It's just kind of nice to have. The cargo plate is something I wish I had gotten much earlier, because I realized that like the way I had positioned my fridge in my car for so long was that it was entirely based off of where those cargo tie downs were in the back. And so that defined exactly where it sat and how I arranged that entire back. But with the cargo plate, you have these holes that you can put tie downs in yourself. And so you can arrange it wherever you want it to. I realized that I really like having where it's at with the fridge slide. And the fridge slide installs very easily. It's only 4 bolts for that too. I could have gotten by just with the cargo plate and then just been able to put it exactly where I wanted it. The biggest bonus I've noticed by doing this is that I have the fridge like basically almost right up against the hatch. That gave me all this space behind it between the seat and the fridge that I can fit my power station back there now. And then because I have this cargo plate, not only can the power station be back there, but I can also strap it down.
Oh, I see. So this cargo plate essentially gives you a lot of pre-drilled holes.
Yep.
You're bolting it down to your car, and then I guess you can put anything you want, hooks, bolts, anything to tie things down.
Yep. Yeah, and if you're somebody who is more DIY oriented, you can definitely just do this yourself, right? You have to kind of template it out yourself and then cut out some plyboard. And then with Goose Gear, they did do the work of figuring out where the gaps were. So it's not just a piece of plywood, it also has the gaps that fit in with the cargo area, which is nice. And then they also spray it with like bed liner material in addition to providing the various screw down points. I think it's expensive, but also
I was going to say this price is pretty high.
Yeah, but if you think of all the time that it would take you to do that, like I don't know. To me, I'd rather just buy it from Goose Gear than go through all that work personally, because that's I don't know. I only have a specialty
piece that has been designed.
Right.
It's $800 for the 5th gen.
Oh gosh, that's a lot more than the 3rd gen. It was less than $500 for the 3rd gen.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo.
Plus, I had that 11% discount.
Ooh. Yeah, and then looks like they also have something similar for Ram as well. Full size Tacomas. Wow, Jeeps. Very cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me shopping. Stop it. Get me out of here.
Yeah, and I forget the owner's name. I think it's Alex. He's a nice guy. He was actually at the Northwest Overland Rally when we were there. So I got to meet him and ask him some questions and whatnot.
I can't believe how long ago that was. That was in 2024 because the 2025 was canceled last minute.
Right.
So that was a year and a half ago. That's crazy.
Was that the 2024 or was it the 2023 even?
Oh, maybe.
Because I don't remember.
I don't know.
I remember I had that rental Jeep.
You had the rental Jeep at an Overland rally.
Yeah. But maybe that's right.
Here he comes with a stock Jeep Cherokee. Do you want to go for a run?
Because that would have been after our Nevada trip. So that might have been 2024. I think you're right, actually.
I think so.
Yeah, because
I want to say it was last year, but it's definitely not last year.
Yeah, definitely not last year. Yeah, so I think you're right. I think it's 2024. Yeah, so that's the Goose Gear. I'm quite happy with it. I am excited to do a real overlanding trip rather than just a Airbnb trip with it, just to kind of get the fun of working with it. It is really nice though, because now when I open it, even when it's inside the rig, before it would kind of like the top of the fridge would sort of rub up against the back of my chair, and it would sort of also hit a piece of the side of the wall. But now, because where I have it oriented, I can just roll on the window and open it up, and it's great. Having that kind of control is awesome. Also, I found these straps called Titan straps on Amazon. A set of 4 of them were like $36. They're kind of like rubbery type straps. They're Voile or Voila, whatever the ski straps. It's like the same material, but like a cheaper version of it.
Yeah, it's a ski company.
Yeah.
Voile.
Vol. Oh no, we didn't French again because that didn't go well last time.
We should just do it every episode.
Yeah, right.
Our French listeners are going to hate us.
I really like those because they have a little bit of stretch to them. When you're using them for like stowage, it can move around a little bit, but it'll also kind of go back to its position. Whereas if you just had the regular cam strap, as soon as like it gets jarred around, it won't retension. I think those Titan straps are a nice option. And
they're amazing. I have quite a few as well.
Oh, nice.
And there's like a lot of them on my car.
Nice. And yeah, they have a bunch of different links too.
And now you can use them on your cross-country skis.
Yeah.
There you go. Skis and poles.
Yeah.
All together.
Real. Cool. Yeah, so that was that. Melody, what have you been up to lately?
What's up? What have I been up to lately? So I mentioned in episode 34, the last episode, that I was looking to sell my MTs. Again, another set of MTs. So I wanted to chat about it.
Hey, Melody, what's an MT?
It's a mud tire, right?
Yep, sure is. Or mud terrain tire.
Mud terrain.
Yeah.
Not good for winter. Let's say that. The mud terrains I had were great. They were Maxxis Razor, not a common one, but when I was on safari, where was I? Sri Lanka. They had them on the cars and they were amazing. So I was like, I got to get a set. I'm jealous. And they were really good. They have these huge lugs and very tough sidewall. I really enjoyed using them, but I think it's time to get real and get some ATs. I'm going to join the AT club.
All right.
All terrains. Oh, it's so sad. I've always driven on MTs in the summer. And the set I had before that were the Neato Trail Grapplers. I did not like that. They slid around like crazy in the rain, and it just rains too much in the PMW for me to do that. It was really unsafe.
Yeah, wet grip is a huge deal. Yeah, that's definitely something you have to consider.
It was a big deal. And even on those tires, I was kind of sliding off the trails too. When you're on a cliff, it matters. Yeah, I sold my MTs, so I wanted to talk about what that experience is like. And it's not bad, I would say. It took me a lot of motivation to sell the tires. And then once I listed them, I was getting so many offers a day. I want to say 3 to 4 offers a day.
Wow.
So Facebook Marketplace is where it's at.
There's
I feel
more people
like
shopping for used tires than I would have expected, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah.
I think I didn't put any description besides the tread level. That was it. I think I also put a good price on them too. So for $5, I was listing it for $5.25. I did the same thing with the Neato Trail Grapplers too, as the Maxxis Razor, and it always sells for just under $500. So the trick is for me is to sell them after a couple seasons, because then there's still really good tread on the tire. And even if you've had to use the spare, you had to plug the tire, you can typically sell them. As long as it still holds up as a spare, it can be used. So if you can sell them with some wear on them so that somebody can actually use them and enjoy them, then you can get a pretty good price for them, and you don't just sell them for scrap. So if they're too bald, you actually have to figure out a way to get rid of them. That can be expensive. So what I've done is sell them at a certain level and then invest in other tires that you want. And you can buy them used or new, but I think Facebook Marketplace is where it's at.
Okay. So it sounds to me, it's too bad that we don't have Beth again, because I know she's had those Revos forever and hasn't been able to sell them. So it sounds like if you're not getting a lot of interest, then you probably need a lower price. And then once you start getting people asking you about it, then that's how you know you've hit the market price.
Yep. I only took 2 pictures. There was a new tire and 4 used ones. And the picture I took was of the used one. They were bagged. And I think that's just enough information for people to know, just based on your title, what the tires are. And yeah, they fit most cars. Even though they're 33s, they fit quite a lot of vehicles. I think, have you tried selling with OfferUp before?
I never sold tires, but I used to. OfferUp at least for a while there, was like huge in Seattle. But then I think like Facebook Marketplace just sort of took it over because I stopped even posting things on there because I just would never get responses from there. But I'd get responses on Facebook Marketplace like immediately.
And I think that you can get reviewed on Marketplace now. So you can actually have a rating on there as a buyer or a seller, kind of like how eBay was. And I think that people create secondary Facebook accounts just for Marketplace.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's the kind of gist I got. However, I was more responsive to people that were part of the same kind of car Facebook groups, like Avance Off-Road or Overlanding USA. Also, if you're looking for a specific tire or need some advice, Overlanding USA is actually a really great place to ask because there are not too many clowns on there and some really knowledgeable people. So if you're like, I want to look for 33s, what should I get based on what I do with my car? They give you straight up answers, which is really nice.
Yeah, actually, I think that's a great tip. There are those buy and sell groups that are regional or maybe even for your town if you're in a big city. And those are great for posting those things. I tried to sell my first e-bike on Facebook Marketplace a couple of years ago, and it's just nothing was moving. It wasn't moving at all. And I had it set at a great price, and I knew it was a great price. And I was like, that's weird. So then I joined some P&W mountain biking groups and then relisted it, and then it sold within 2 weeks. I think, yeah, using that group feature is a good tip for sure.
Yeah. The one I'm recommending, Overlanding USA, is run by Midland. but there are some really smart people in there, and I'm actually learning a lot.
Yeah. Some groups don't allow listings. So yeah, make sure before you add them.
Rigs and Adventures just stopped doing that.
Right.
I saw the post on that.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder where you can sell things then.
I'm not part of it right now, but I was part of some sort of P&W like off-road buy and sell group. So it does exist out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think actually Rigs and Adventure has suggested a couple of other groups where you could list your stuff.
They're like, here's where you can go. Please go away.
Still over there.
Over there. Because long gone are the days of like internet forums where you have to like keep refreshing and hoping that somebody comes up with something and then you negotiate a price over email or I don't know. I feel like Facebook Marketplace stick to that.
Yeah.
And any groups. Yeah. But be careful of the scams. There are some serious scams out there too, where they look like a legit seller, but they're not.
I don't even want to get into what you need to look for when you're buying tires because that's like a whole can of worms right there. Especially after having like cup tires and whatnot. It's just like you have to really know what to look for if you're going to be a used tire buyer.
I feel like people are very trusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Buying them, I don't know what the rules would be there because buying used things, I always buy the lemons. I don't know what it is. I'm like a sucker.
Yeah. I don't know. It happens. I did a purchase yesterday through Facebook. Now, I will say the guy who listed, he had really good photos. And also I bought it for $20. So it was a very low risk encounter. But I bought a bike frame. And I think he was kind of surprised that I wasn't like looking it over when he gave it to me. But I had scanned the images so deeply. I was like, this should be fine. And I was happy when I brought it home and it was fine. I think it was not something you should do generally. I think you should definitely look things over when you're buying something just to make sure everything is lining up with the vision you had in your head of what you're purchasing.
Okay. Yeah, maybe bring a friend, see if there's any red flags.
Yeah, that's fair. This is like in a very public area in downtown, so I wasn't too worried about it.
Oh, I mean like bring a friend if anything else is off. Oh. Like if you're going to buy a bike frame, maybe somebody else who also knows bike frames.
Got it. I thought you meant like a friend who stops you from being murdered. Like a bodyguard?
Yeah. I was worried about that when I sold my tires by myself, but what I did was I was on my phone and I kept my friend on so that she could hear what was going on.
Nice.
It helps that she's very close to law enforcement.
I know who you had on the phone then.
Yes. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful to someone who's trying to find motivation to sell something. Get it done. Get that money.
Yeah. I've had things that I had stored away for a long time. And then I was like, I need to sell it. And eventually I'll just be like, okay, this weekend, this is the time I'm going to do it. It really works. I had this like Nintendo game console. So this is the 3DS. And I bought it like in 2017 or something. And I used it for a few years. And then eventually got into my little tech bin stuff. And then I was cleaning out that bin. I was like, Nintendo stuff sometimes it's like surprisingly holds value. I looked it up. It was like a special Pokemon edition of this console. And people were selling the box for $200. I was like, dang, like I
Whoa.
have the box and the unit and all this stuff. So I was like, I should definitely get some money for this. So I ended up selling it for $500. And that was just something that was just, yeah, in a bin for like years.
No way.
Yeah. So you never know.
Great. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I was
That's
surprised.
a win. I have a whole bin of clothes. I don't think it's going to go the same way for me.
Yeah,
But yeah,
depends on the right clothes, right brands, right?
Yep. We're taking a break. It's Melody jumping in to say we're hanging out on Instagram if you want to keep up with the Overland nonsense. And if you're on Apple, Amazon Music, or Spotify, go ahead and download the episode so you don't lose us. All right, back to it. Cool. What else have you been up to, Garrick?
I mentioned the gravel ride. That was just kind of fun because it was weirdly 60 degrees at the end of January. And then at our last episode, Beth had mentioned the Methow Valley. So I did that. It was a fun group trip where we rented an Airbnb right in Winthrop and did some cross-country skiing. That's like the ski situation out here has not been good, but it actually was really good in the Methow Valley, which was great. And they groomed it religiously up there. It's interesting because like when you do cross-country skiing, I mentioned last episode that you buy this like snow park pass for a lot of the Washington spots, but Methow is its own separate thing, which you would ask me about. And it's almost like being on a alpine like resort trail.
Resort?
Like, yeah, because you have to actually buy the tags and like, wear them on your person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where do you buy these tags?
I bought mine right in Winthrop. There's actually a few different outdoor sports companies there. I bought it from Winthrop Mountain Sports, I think. Yeah.
How much is it?
It's not cheap. It was $32 a day, but I bought a 3-day pass for $80, I think.
Okay.
And then you
Still
can get
cheaper than one lift ticket.
Yeah,
huh?
true.
Oh.
Yeah. And then if you're local, they have season passes, which I think they had different levels of them, but I think they were somewhere around $400 for a season pass.
Nice. I love that they do that for locals. That's cool.
Yeah.
Would we be considered locals? Because we're quite far from there.
You can buy it. It's just I'm saying locals because that's the only reason like you would actually buy it. Yeah.
Got it. If you go there often.
Yeah.
So if you had the special groom trails permit, that doesn't count for Methow Valley?
It does not. No,
wow.
There is, I don't know how to say it. Lake Perrygin is what it looks like spelled out. That's right next to Winthrop, and that does have a snow parking area with some no skiing.
Parisian?
It could be. That's our thing now. I'll have to stop my Spanish Duolingo and switch to French just for this podcast.
I was also thinking we need to spell Methow because if you're not from here, you may not know how it's actually spelled.
Yeah, Methow. I only say that because that's how I've heard other people say it. But if you look at it, you're like, oh, that's like the Methow Valley. But then,
right.
Yeah.
But if you're a true local.
Yeah, the Methow.
Mm-hmm. So where is this French lake?
It's just north of Winthrop if you're looking at a map.
Lake okay, you know I am.
Yeah.
Lake There's French Creek Road all back there, so maybe it is French.
Checks out.
Oh boy.
All those French Canadian trappers coming in.
How do you spell it?
Perrygin? I'm going off of memory, but it's like Perrrygin, something like that.
Oh my gosh, you are right bang on the money. That is exactly how it's spelled.
All right. It sounds like a cocktail. You're like, I'll have a Perrygin. Yeah, thanks. That sounds good.
It's like a pear flavored gin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I wish it had on Google Maps a little speaker so it would tell me how it's pronounced, but it does not.
Yeah,
actually, I can't wait to learn how this sounds. I'm going to ask everyone I know.
Yeah, I will be going to that lake this spring. I was actually supposed to do it last year. I had booked campsites at Lake Perrygin for a weekend long. It's like a 3-day gravel bike event they have out there, and it's a really cool event. But I broke my collarbone right before it, so I had to cancel it. But they said that I could transfer my ticket from last year to this year. So I already have the ticket for it. And it's not a cheap ticket because like the whole weekend, it's like $300 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I do need to rebook my campsites for that. And there's also, this is a tip I think I gave before about keeping rider at like nearby places where I go. There is a pet lodge in Winthrop that is way cheaper than Seattle. So I will bring Ryder with me and he can just stay at the daycare during the day while I'm doing my riding. And then I'll pick him up and then he can hang out with me and camp at and bark at whatever is near camp.
Amazing.
Or hopefully be tired because he was at daycare all day long.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a great plan.
Yeah, but that is it for me. I wanted to talk about something fun
Okay.
that came out recently.
I'm here for it.
It is, if you can believe it, the car brand Honda has released a prototype,
Okay.
but it's a trailer, a camping trailer.
Okay. Like you put on your hitch in the back of your car.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
They're calling it the base station. And in the videos I was seeing, it seems like this is coming to market. Everybody that's talking about, they're like, oh yeah, this is coming. It's going to be a thing. You're going to be able to order it or buy it from your Honda dealership. And it's kind of fascinating when you look at it because it doesn't look like any other camper I've ever seen. It almost looks like it's like a pod you'd see in space, and then they just threw some wheels and a hitch on it. It's so wild looking.
Do you know if Honda has previously done trailers? That's not a thing, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I mean, they have a long storied history, so I guess it's possible. But
I'm looking at your YouTube link on this.
Yes.
And whoa.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a power bank. Is that?
I can see that.
Power bank vibes?
A little bit. Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because it's not like a traditional teardrop. It has more like rectangular sort of shape to it. And then in one side is all windows, which is on the driver's side. And then the opposite of the driver's side, they have one of their access doors. So instead of a window, there's an access door. And then I think you have options on the passenger side as to whether you want them to be windows, or you can add different like upgrades, I guess. So one of them is, instead of having a window there, it'll be a full out like kitchen that can pop down and then has a sink and a stove and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then they had some other option too. Maybe it was like a table or something like that. So it's kind of cool that they have this like modular stuff you can do. Oh, one of them was like an air conditioner. So it comes with a heater. Heater's built in base, but then you can actually add an air conditioner as one of those optional window or air conditioner.
Cool.
And it's different too, because most campers like that I'm used to are like teardrops where they have that side opening, but then their back hatch is just like for a kitchen. And that's not how this thing's designed. The back hatch just sort of, that's your main access point, actually. You open that up and then you walk in through the back. And then in there, it's mostly like an open space. And then they have a bed / sofa that you can sort of set up. So you can have it set up in chair and seat mode, or you can like take the planks and set it down as a bed. And then it also has a pop top, which is basically like your rooftop tent style pop top. So you can have a bed up there as well. So they were saying like a family of 4 could use this, because you could have kids up in the pop top and then adults down below. Or if you're only a couple, you could actually just leave the down below area always in like lounge mode and then just go sleep in the upper when you roll in. Or if you are like using this while you're like road tripping, you can just stealth camp in the thing, right? And then just not even worry about the pop top and just sleep in the bottom part. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's really neat. It's interesting that Honda is deciding that this is a niche that they want to get into. I really like that they've used fiberglass as their main component for it. There are some fiberglass trailer manufacturers that are out there now. Casita, I think, is one of them. And there's another one that I can't remember the name of it, but it's actually a little bit more famous. But they have this sort of style where it's like you have a fiberglass shell. It's like in 2 pieces, and you just take the 2 halves and put them together, and then you've got a camper. And they're really great for the Pacific Northwest because it's just, by being that fiberglass mold, it's really waterproof, and so you don't have to worry about getting leaks and stuff, which is pretty great. It's almost like a boat essentially that's been turned into a camper.
I don't know if you remember when the 2026 Honda Passport Trail Sport was kind of debuted, and then there was this viral video going around from Garage Talk. I think it was Garage Talk, where they were saying, "Is this the Forerunner killer?" And everyone was like, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah, like the comment section was amazing. Yeah. It was just like, you've got to be kidding me. But I think design-wise, this makes sense. So they've obviously put a ton of investment into this, where they have the car and then they have the trailer. They've come out with the car first, see how it goes while they can get this trailer up and running, and then now they're going to have a complimentary item to buy alongside your car that, yeah,
Yeah, you're
That
hitting
makes
on a
total
great
sense to
point
me.
that because this thing is so lightweight, yeah, like a passport could easily tow this thing. So I think it's like under 1,500 pounds.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, the vehicles you can pull this with this are basically anything with a hitch, pretty much. That helps. And then I will say this is not something that you would want to take on tough roads. It's going to probably mostly be a road and gravel, like nice gravel road camper. Yeah, so if you want to do rough stuff, you might want to look elsewhere. But even if you have an off-road camper, as we've had Scott on, and Scott mentioned, that can give you a whole other set of challenges. So now when we do our week-long trips, he doesn't even bring the camper anymore. He just sleeps inside his 4Runner.
I'm looking at this video, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It is very futuristic looking and it's very smooth on the outside. And this comment section is amazing. One of the first comments is, "Where's the awning?" And I'm like, oh my God, that's so true. If you have a trailer, that's one of the things that you want is an awning, and it doesn't look like mod possible yet.
Right. That was something I was thinking about too. You can't really get a mounted awning. I will say though, like you can very easily get a non-attached awning stored in there. I think the way it's built kind of reminds me of a toy hauler because you have so much interior space and it's just whatever you want to do with it. You could I look at that, I'm like, oh, that you can get mountain bikes in the back of that thing, no problem, and just carry those. You don't have to worry about them being on the outside. They can arrive clean and all that. But yeah, if you want to build it like traditional trailers, you're going to have some challenges like that.
Yeah, because that looks like the kitchen might be on the outside, and then you better hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah. Also, I don't think it's that tall, so I don't think you'd want an awning on this anyways because it would be kind of low. Like, I think you're better off putting the awning on your car and just using that. So if you want to have an attached one, anyways, yeah.
Nice. This is kind of fun.
I hope it does get to production, and I hope to see one and think it's cool. In a way, I feel like it's the same type of buyer that would consider an Airstream. I think they would consider this.
Nice. You don't know what the MSRP is going to be about.
They haven't announced it, nor have they announced timing yet either, unfortunately. And they also didn't say what the heating method would be, so I'd be curious about that.
Oh, if it's like radiant heat or... Because that base is so thick.
Yeah.
I wonder. Okay, base station.
Yep, base station.
I'm glad you're pointing this out. Do you ever go to those car shows where they have new prototypes of things?
Not really. You mean the trade show sort of deal, like SEMA and whatnot? I have not. No, I've had friends that have gone to those events though.
Maybe we should go sometime. That'd be super fun. Kind of see what's out there, get some ideas.
Yeah, maybe we can get a press pass.
Someday, Garrick. Someday.
You're like, how many downloads did you get this week? 6.
Hey, that's a lot.
Solid 6.
That's pretty cool. Someone's listening. That's great.
And we appreciate every one of you.
Yep. So if anyone has a press pass, think of us. But I have a feeling, though, I don't know how much I want to see new things like this because then I'm just going to want to buy it. And it just seems like at this time, very, very dicey.
I find trailers something that I've never felt like I needed or wanted, but I still like, I don't know, I like reading about them and finding about them and watching videos about them. I think they're cool. I think it's a neat thing, but I just don't have a use case for them personally. So I have to risk it. I'm not like, oh, if I dig in too deep, I'm going to end up convincing myself to buy this. That's not a risk for me.
Where I live, it takes me like half a day to load my car with all the stuff that I need for a trip. So parking a trailer somewhere and calling it a day and then just picking it up and going away for the weekend actually sounds pretty great.
Yeah, trailers are great until you have to reverse them. And then
I do want to learn how to do that. I feel like that is a fantastic skill to have.
It's a brain twister, let me tell you. Cool. So yeah, that is the base station by Honda, hopefully coming out soon.
Nice.
I had one topic that I wanted to go over for a while now, especially now we're in the colder temps. We have talked about overlanding with our dogs before, and I think we may have touched upon this a little bit, but I added an upgrade within this last year that I have found to be super helpful. Specifically with the cold weathers in your car, sometimes you need to leave your dog in the car for whatever amount of time. And for me, I like having peace of mind that rider's okay in there. There's one of the ways that I can do that is by being aware of what the temperature is inside the vehicle when I'm not there. So this is something that is useful not only in the height of winter, but also the warmth of summer as well. And I found after my research kind of two main options. I actually just got both of them, but basically, I think the most accessible option is getting a Bluetooth thermometer that you can just leave in your car.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, so then you can just have an app that connects over Bluetooth, and Bluetooth has a range, like I think it's a theoretical range of up to 250 feet, which is not
Mm-hmm.
super long, but if you're in a store or a restaurant for a while, that's close enough that you should be able to monitor it from there. And that's nice too because you don't need internet or anything like that. You can be out in the boonies in some rural town that has no cell service and still be able to find out the temperature from your car, from your restaurant seat or whatever. And they're pretty cheap too. You buy them once, there's no service fees or anything like that. I have a brand is Govee, and I think I paid less than $20 for it. So that's something I can just keep in. I think the only downside is you have to charge it every once in a while. So that's about it.
Oh, you have a rechargeable one. See, I have one with a battery, and the downside is that battery doesn't last very long. It's one of those old coin batteries.
Yeah, those clock or watch ones. Yeah, I find those annoying because they're not sold everywhere. So then you have to either order them or hope that the random gas station you're at just happens to have that particular one. And there's also like way more variations of those than thinks there should be. Like they all look like they're basically the same size, and you're like, why are there so many different ones? I don't understand.
They're not very universal, no.
Yeah. darn watch batteries. So yeah, get a rechargeable if you can. I'd recommend, especially if you have a power bank, because then it's really easy to just charge it from your power bank, or just leave it hooked up to it, right? Because you hook it up to your power bank and then you just go on for hours and hours.
Well, now you tell me, Garrick.
Yeah, well,
please, are you gonna bought the thing?
It's under $20. Easy solution.
All right, and we go on Facebook Marketplace.
Nice, there you go. So that's great, but then what if you're further away? What are your options?
Yeah.
So I came across this company called Necto. It's Necto.
Okay.
And they have a device that actually will send you a message through an app and also text you if you want. You can set to both or one or the other. It'll send you a message when certain parameters have been met. You can also just go in the app and just look and see what the temperature is at any moment, because every 15 minutes it'll pull what the temperature is in the car and then update the servers or whatever. But if it reaches a level that, like you said, as a parameter, if it gets over 80 degrees, then text me and alert me that has happened. Or if there's humidity has gotten too low, text me and send me a message. So it's pretty great because like it actually works over a number of different cell. So basically, if there's any cell service at all, it'll work in that area, which is cool because that's not always the case with our own phones, because we can only use our only one carrier. And I haven't really run into a scenario where it didn't work unless there was just no cell service anywhere around. If there's any cell service at all, it has always worked for me. It has a really long battery life. It's 8 days or something like that. So I actually found that a little annoying because sometimes I'll get back from a trip and I'll forget to turn it off. So then a few days later, it'll send me a message, be like, hey, it got really cold in the car. It's dangerous in here. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to turn that thing off. But yeah, it's pretty great. I think it was a little spent. I can't remember exactly what I paid for it, but it was somewhere along the lines of like $200.
Whoa.
That $200, it's not an expensive product, but you're basically buying the first 2 years of subscription for it is when you buy it.
Oh, it's a subscription service.
It is a subscription. That's the other downside. Yeah, because you're using cell servers and whatnot, right? So it comes out to $7 a month is what the cost is, but it is pausable because you've kind of prepaid for those 2 years. You kind of just have to wait that out. But then after that, $7 a month. For me, for peace of mind about my dog, it's worth it. Mm-hmm. The battery life is legit. Even in cold, it's been super long. I tend to keep mine hooked up to my power station, as mentioned, so I really don't have to worry about it. But to give a use case of this specifically was Moab. There were other people at camp, so I always knew like Ryder would be fine, but also peace of mind. I was able to check on his temperature while we were out riding our motorcycles and whatnot and know exactly how he was doing in there. And it was usually pretty cozy. It was nice to have that reassurance.
You definitely don't want to be a bad dog parent.
Right.
Good for you. Yep. That's great.
Also, if you are doing that, though, I recommend printing out a sheet and putting it in your dashboard and have some piece of information, like have the dog's name, explain that you are monitoring their temperature, leave your cell number and say, if you have concerns, please contact me and say thank you for your concern and that sort of thing. So people know that you are being a responsible dog parent.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. I think it is time for random recommendations, Melody. Do you want to get us started off? Do you have one?
No, I don't have one. I do. Here we go. It's for all the climbers out there. So there's a new gym that opened up in Seattle. It's in Lower Queen Anne, and it's called Rock Climbing. It sounds like rock climbing, but it's spelled ROQ. And it is started by somebody that thought that fitness should be combined with climbing. So they have classes where that's 30 minutes of fitness and then 30 minutes of climbing, also led by an instructor. And all they have in there for climbing are kilter boards. So it's bouldering. The pads are really great and squishy. And these kilter boards are technologically advanced. They'll have iPads in front of them on a podium.
I definitely don't know what a kilter board is. So if you can give me a quick description of what that is.
Yeah, I'll describe it to you. So there's an iPad on a podium in front of each board so that you can look at it. And what this iPad is doing is it's offering you choices of what you would like to climb. So there's a grading system, V0 on up.
Okay.
V0 is super beginner. V1, okay, you're climbing. And you pick your route, and it will illuminate those holds up on the kilter board.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great gym. It's definitely a different concept. It's bouldering with a twist. So, Garrick, do you have a random recommendation for us?
I do. And actually, it's through our mutual friend, Michelle, at the end of our Vancouver Island trip. I think she gave us all, I don't know, I assume she gave us all this Swedish sponges. And I had never encountered this before. I think they sell them at IKEA's. But basically, it's like a sponge material. When you look at it, it looks like a piece of paper almost, but it's spongy and thin. And it's cool because it does a really good job of wiping off water. Like you just wash your dishes or whatever, you can use that to quickly dry them. And then because it's thin, it dries itself really quickly, which is great. So I've actually used that a ton. Like I've gotten so much use out of that. I'm really surprised that I had never heard of it. Yeah. Props to Michelle for the awesome gift. And I'm now passing this on as a recommendation to all of y'all.
Fantastic. And we love gifts.
Yeah.
Any contribution on an overland trip is highly appreciated.
Yeah. Actually, it's a perfect gift too, because it's, I assume, not expensive. So it's something you can get a big quantity of and make good friends that will then think of you every time they use it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michelle.
Indeed. All right. I think that leads us to the end of this particular episode 35. Ryder is very active right now, so he's signaling the end.
He's ready to go.
Yeah. Melody, do you have any closing thoughts for the episode?
I would say we need to make some lemonade at the beginning of this year. So I would say plan those trips. Make sure you go. Just go. Do it. Get outside.
Yeah. This is perfect planning time. Absolutely. Because you're indoors and you're cold or wet or some combination of the two. And you're just like, oh, I think things will get better soon. Take that energy and turn it into making plans. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Garrick.
Thank you, Melody. Let's call that a wrap.
If you want to get in touch with us by email, let us know what you think. remotetrailsradio@gmail.com.
RTR, over and out.